Yep, they're back to the blueprint. Donald Trump says something very racist. And instead of holding leaders accountable, they dust off a black conservative to go on national news to talk about how not racist the comment was. Now, I want to take you back to the original statement Donald Trump made and the now proclamation of black conservatives. Here it is.
I got indicted a second time and a third time and a fourth time. And a lot of people said that that's why the black people like me, because they have been hurt so badly and discriminated against. And they actually viewed me as I'm being discriminated against.
Okay, now on Meet the Press, all right? Black conservative goes to Meet the Press, Byron Donalds, to defend Trump's statement. Here it is.
It sounds like Donald Trump was implying that he can win black voters because they get indicted all the time too. Is that what he was saying?
Well, I think it's in part of that. It's part of it, Kristen. Look, it was a great night Friday night in Columbia, South Carolina. The president was really just enjoying himself. It was a great celebration for black conservatives across our country. But let's be very clear. Our economy is a mess. Our border is completely unsecured. These things are causes of major concerns for black voters, like it is for every voter in our country. But then when you layer on the fact that, yes, this is political persecution from the Department of Justice and from radical DAs throughout our country, this is something similar that black people had to deal with the justice system themselves. And so their look of it is real simple. Well, dang, if the government's going after him with foolishness, he can't be that bad, especially considering the fact that Joe Biden is terrible at his job.
Congressman, let's just be clear. All 4 indictments against former President Trump were brought by grand juries. There is no evidence that the indictments are political.
Let's put up the picture full mass. We are inviting this brother on the program at Indisputable. Hopefully he does respond to the invite. Congressman Byron Donalds, Republican out of Florida, defended former President Donald Trump's remarks about being indicted and how black voters can now relate to him. Kristen Welker, NBC's Meet the Press, she did a great job. I was with her a few months ago at an event for the Multicultural Media Association. Wonderful person. I thought she did a great job pushing back at the narrative. But let me say this, and keep that picture up. Do you not find it ironic? Duck, dodge, deny, deflect, which is a protocol of established politicians. But do you not find it ironic that the black congressman who happens to be a conservative, Byron Donalds, he doesn't get called to talk about things that are generally policy related. The GOP doesn't want him out front. They only dust him off, polish him up, and give him talking points when he is an apologist for racist inside of the party, number one. Number two, the irony of saying that Donald Trump somehow gets the connection between mass incarceration, overcharging, out of control DAs and black people, or the plight of blackness in America, while at the same time denying that systemic racism even exists in the United States of America. But when it is for the goal of landing a political point, not only will Donald Trump exploit the moment, but all of his race-denying fans will do the same. They gave him a round of applause, as if they believe that black people do not get a fair shake in this country, because that's contrary to their policy and their rhetoric. Okay, let's get into it. So, quote, and then I got indicted a second time, and then a third time, and a fourth time, Trump said. And a lot of people said, that's why the black people like me. Yeah, I'm a criminal. See, I'm one of them, was his point. Crowd goes wild. Yeah, black people like Trump. That's all we care about. Because they have been hurt so badly and discriminated against. Look at that. That's a direct quote from Donald Trump. Because they have been hurt so badly and discriminated against. Wait a minute. Nikki Haley says America has never been a racist country. The guy that's probably going to be your House Negro, running mate, Tim Scott, that senator said, no. We can't focus on racism. America's not a racist country. But Trump said discriminated against Black people. There's more. It's been pretty amazing. Congressman, it sounds like Donald Trump, she says, was implying that he can win Black voters because they get indicted all the time too. Welker said, is that what he was saying? Question. The congressman acknowledges that's part of it. Where in the policy is a part of it? We understand it was part of the speech for the moment, but where is it in the policy? Because according to the narrative, they do not believe discrimination against Black people actually exists. Obviously, discrimination against Donald Trump exists, according to them, but not against Black people. So let's put them up full mass. This brother, to me, contextualized it perfectly because Cedric Richmond, former congressman, by the way, he's now the campaign co-chair for Biden. He has something to say. He said, quote, Donald Trump claiming that Black Americans will support him because of his criminal charges is insulting. Richmond said, it's moronic and it's just plain racist. Donalds responded by taking a shot at the former congressman. Quote, Cedric is trying to play politics and use racial politics, he said. And then Welker posed a question to the congressman. Were you offended at all by his comments, Congressman? Let's put up the congressman again. Put up Donalds again. He responds to Kristen Welker and says, no, I wasn't, because I understood what the president was talking about. That's what you call step and fetch. This individual has decided to occupy a leadership position, trick individuals who voted for him in his local district that he is somehow a person with a backbone. And he gets on national news and embarrasses his mama and his entire family. All right, dear brother, when I saw this, I said, you gotta be kidding me. All of the hypocrisy from everybody involved being front and center, and nobody's talking about the reality. They are adverse to the policy of discrimination. What say you?
Well, I mean, Byron Donalds knows exactly what he's doing. And this is some of the reality of being a politician, which way you're going to go and who you're going to align with. And, at the end of the day, it's just a goofy equivocation to pretend like Donald Trump is in any type of a similar position that, poor Black people have been in within the criminal justice system, maybe because they got caught up in gang life or they got, who knows, selling drugs, whatever it is. Could be anything, could be a number of things. It could be the foster care system, all types of stuff. Like Donald Trump is a spoon-fed, spoiled moron, really. One of the funniest things, real quick, about Donald Trump's base is like how well aware they are that Donald Trump is just a big goofball, because they always try to say, well, look at the things that Joe Biden says. And then you can acknowledge that. You can say, yeah, Joe Biden makes mistakes in X, Y, and Z, and he's falling short here. And yeah, he's a bit of a goofy guy. But that doesn't make people like subservient to Biden. Like, it's not like we want Joe Biden to be our king, our God king. Like, it's just not the same. But yeah, I mean, Byron knows that there's no real equivocation with Donald Trump and Black people and anything along those lines. He's just doing what he's there to do. He's a member of the Republican Party.
There you go. All right. Hopefully leadership will rise at some point.